Welcome back to the culture of currency. Yes, the culture of currency. This is the perfect place for you if you love bullion silver from around the world and recently generic silver. As you may or may not know, we have been tracking with $100 a month both generic bullion, as you see here, and our government issue bullion. So as you see, I have tracked the price that I paid, the spot price when I bought it, the premium that is overall, the weight, and I have compared them, and we have had our Q1 ratings, which, as you can see right here, currently the generic bullion is losing. And I track that, and I'll show you that in a second, by what things are being sold, not just being sold for, but actually purchased for. And we track those at the Q marks. So Q1 ended. We are going to be in Q2 at the end of next month, which is why I make this video. I get to make my purchases for June here shortly as we're wrapping up May, which means I'll have another $100 worth of generic silver over here. Maybe that'll get me 3 ounces, 4 ounces, who knows. And then I'll have another $100 worth of government bullion over here. Hopefully we'll get some cool things in that category, and then we'll be able to chart our progress, which I'll show you in a second. So over here, just to update you, up through month 5, May, our generic price paid is $5.21. Our government bullion price is $5.44. So obviously there's a disparity there. When it comes to the premiums, I've only paid $60 in premiums for my generics, but I've paid $143 for my government premiums, which, yes, that's crazy, I know, but unfortunately it also means that there's a lot of ground that has been gained in the value of these being sold. And so that's the interesting thing, is over this year, when I get to Q2, will these numbers hold up or not? So our average premium generic is $2.98, so almost $3, and our average government bullion premium is almost $8, way more there. Obviously, that gives us this ratio here. Oh, I just messed something up. There we go. Our generic weight in ounces, we were able to get almost 19 ounces here and about 16 and a half ounces here. So a little bit of a disparity there. And then Q1, as you see, we're negative on our generic and we're positive on our government bullion. And then our value is also right there with about $100 in between. And so if I were to go to this to tell you kind of how I find this, I have the description of my basically January through March purchases, the price I paid, the spot, the premium, the weight, and then I go to actual sources that they're being sold for, not just by the buyer, but what are they actually being bought for. So if I go to eBay and it tells me that this, let's say Austrian kookaburra was bought consistently for an average of $32, and I paid $30.77, that means I've made $1.23 positive on that. So all of these were in the positive except for the hammerhead, and that's because it was a half ounce mostly, and that was negative $4.95. These are the coins that I have purchased since then. As we see, 328 was actually 2 months worth, so that I got free shipping. So we'll have June here piling up, and then we'll track Q2, and we'll also bring in the disparities updated from Q1, because we're going to track these throughout the year. So we might see as this $58 goes to, I don't know, $12, or maybe it goes higher. We're going to figure that out when we look at what these have been sold for, and then we'll bring those Q2 right here and talk about the difference. For generics, this is what we do, the exact same thing. What did I pay? What was spot? What was the premium on those? What was the weight? And then what was the movement? And I do that based on whatever spot is. So 24.6 is what we calculated spot as at the end of Q1 when I calculated this. And this is only different here on the 1 ounce or half ounces because, well, it's a half ounce. So if we do 24.6 divided by 2, we get the 12.3. and there's our differences there, which gives you the negative. So obviously spot has risen $4, and so all of these should be in the positive for Q1, which would really help out the disparity. So instead of negative 26, we might be positive $8 or whatever it is. And then we have all the other ones we've purchased, including the ones I will purchase this next month. So it will really tighten the gap between these two, because what I'm noticing just off the top of the page is that the generic bullions, when the price rises of spot, they don't necessarily always mean that the premiums skyrocket too. And so sometimes those premiums squish down as you start to have inventory issues, and so they want to offload those a little bit quicker. And that being said, what a lot of times is happening is it gives you the ability for these generics to actually catch up with the government issued bullion. So that's the hypothesis. I don't know what the data will say, but it'll be really fun to track that with you. So I just want to let you know, yes, in the next week or so, I will be purchasing another $100 worth of generic bullion and government bullion. And at the end of the month, we'll figure out what spot is, and we'll be able to bring you Q2 and figure out which one is doing better in the long run. We might have a big shift that says that the government issued bullion takes a dip and that the generic is better. We'll find that out, and that's what's so much fun about this, is over the course of this year, we're going to be able to see which one of these actually performs better. I know most people online, whether it's Reddit or whatever, say that premiums are dumb, and I agree, I hate them. However, if they're going to sell for a premium, then buying for a premium makes sense. It's just like if I go to Walmart and I buy a pair of Velcro shoes, they're probably not going to be something that I could turn around and sell for a profit. Whereas if I buy, some really nice Italian handmade shoes, then maybe those have a bit more value. You definitely can wear them and they feel better, but does it have more value? Does it have more intrinsic worth that you should consider? And that's really the difference, right? You have your store brand Frosted Flakes versus the actual Frosted Flakes. Is it worth the price difference? All that kind of stuff. I get the argument, but that's the question. What does the data say? Not me, not Reddit. What does the data say? And that's all I'm here to bring. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm going to do what I love regardless, but I don't want that to influence anything in this study. So that's what I wanted to bring to you today, to catch you up and remind you that everything we're doing here is for you so that you understand silver. But another part of that is we give away 10%, and the end of the month we'll be able to have another giveaway. We got to give away a 1/10 of an ounce last month because we had roughly $40 made, and that means that we got about $4 worth of silver that we gave away. We actually gave away more than that. But we also have these two items which were not claimed in the window of time that we dictate we needed, and so they're going to go back on the board and be given away again to see if somebody will claim them in the right time. This is a silver Washington commemorative piece, and this is a Austrian mint piece that were both donated by the Longhorn Silver in the North Texas area. Love them. They donated those for our viewers, and so since they were not claimed from our last giveaway, they are going to be incorporated in another one. So make sure you pay attention for that, because we will have at least 3 items to give away. One will be our 10% of what YouTube pays me in ad revenue, and the other 2 will be right here, and then possibly even more. If Longhorn decides that I need more things to give away or they want to liquidate, then great, we'll bring it to you. But that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.